Okay, we are continuing on with the Adventures of Chatter the Red Squirrel by Thornton W. Bird. Chapter 20 is where we're at. Chatter has another great surprise. Can you guys say hello?
Hello, why is this Sunday?
Oh, that's just how much it cost when I bought it years and years ago. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Okay. Chatter had never had so many surprises, good surprises, in all of his life, since the day he had been caught in the trap in Farmer Brown's cornfield. In the first place, it had been a great surprise to him that he had not been given to Black Pussy, as he had been fully expected to be. Then he had come to even greater surprise of finding that Farmer Brown's boy was ever and ever so much nicer than he had thought.
Why was he nice and nice?
Because he was nice to him. A later surprise has been the Brown's boy. A later surprise had been the wire wheel in his cage so that he could run in his heart's content. It was such a pleasant and wholly unexpected surprise that it had quite changed Chatter's feelings towards Farmer Brown's boy. And the fact is, Chatter could have been truly happy but for one thing. He was a prisoner. Yes, sir, he was a prisoner, and he couldn't forget it for 1 minute while he was awake. Please don't do that, Edward. I'm having to talk over it. He used to watch Farmer Brown's boy and wished with all of his might that he could make him understand how dreadful it was to be in prison. But Farmer Brown's boy couldn't understand that Chatter said no matter how hard Chatter tried to make him. Winry, he seemed to think that Chatter was happy. He just didn't understand that not all the good things in the world came up for the loss of freedom. That it is better to be free than hungry and cold than in a prison in every comfort. Chatter had stood it pretty well and made the best of things until Sammy Jay had found him. Winry, you're fine. And Reddy Fox had made fun of him, and Peter Rabbit had peeped at him from behind the old stone wall. The very sight of them going where they pleased. He was saying hello. The very sight of them going where they pleased and where they pleased had been too much for Chatter, and such a great longing for the green forest and the old orchard filled his heart that he could think of nothing else. When he turned around to eat, he just sat in a corner of his cage and looked as miserable as he felt. He lost his appetite. In vain, Farmer Brown's boys brought him the fattest nuts and other dainties.
Mommy's reading.
Guys. Winry, stop.
Can I just pour myself a cup of water?
Yes. He no longer cared to run in the new wire wheel in which he had been given so much pleasure at first. He was homesick. Terribly homesick, and he just couldn't help it. Farmer Brown's boy noticed it, and his face grew somber and thoughtful. Winry, Edward, that does not help. As he watched Chatter, when the latter didn't know what he was about, and if he could understand Chatter's talk, he could understand Chatter's actions. He knew that he was unhappy, and guessed why. One morning, Chatter did not come out of his hollow stump as he usually did when his cage was placed on the shelf outside the farmhouse door. He just didn't feel like it. He stayed curled up in his bed for a long, long time, too sad and miserable to move. At last he crawled up and peeped out of his little round doorway. Chatter gave a little gasp and rubbed his eyes. Was he dreaming? He scrambled out in a hurry and peeked through the wires of his cage. Then he rubbed his eyes again and rushed over to the other side of the cage for another look. His cage wasn't on the usual shelf at all. It was on the snow-covered stone wall at the edge of the old orchard. Chatter was so excited he didn't know what to do. He raced around the cage. Then he jumped into the wire wheel. You can wait, I'm almost done. And made it spin round and round as never before. When he was too tired to run anymore, he jumped out. And right then he discovered something he didn't notice before. The little door in the top of the cage was open. It must have been that Farmer Brown's boy had forgotten to close it when he put it on Chatter's breakfast. Chatter forgot that he was so tired. Like a little red flash, he was outside and whisking along the snow-covered stone straight for his home in the old orchard. Chicory, 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 he shouted as he ran. All right, we are very close to being done this book.
What was he saying about shallow? Was he saying about shallow?
Your Chatter is free now.
Free?
Yes.
Just like I'm free.
Are you? No, not free. Out of his cage. Yeah. Can you say goodbye? Goody, can you say goodbye, please?
Goodbye.
Edward, say goodbye, please.
Goodbye, 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 go.